Hello, everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. I am your host, Ryan Doze, joined by the full squad tonight.
What?
The full four.
The Thor four. Full four.
The full four.
Full four. We are here to talk about Marvel Zombies coming to the MCU and all the awesome Thor stuff that was in this show.
I thought we were talking about absolute evil. Oh no, I'm woefully unprepared.
Baz wants everybody to know that he reads Absolute Comics and keeps them right next to him on his desk. I
never know when you're going to need them.
I love that we got this show. I think we're all pretty generally hyped about this show. And so we're going to talk about the whole thing. And there are spoilers aplenty coming, everybody. So if you don't want to know what happens to all of our favorite Asgardian friends in Marvel Zombies from the MCU, please stop now. Go watch all 4 episodes. It was, I mean, honestly, I made a
like
morning
2 hours. It's like a movie.
Yeah,
it's a super breezy watch. Yeah.
It was so good. If you really liked the MCU What If show, you will love this. So I'm just giving you that heads up. Wanted to let you know that on the front here, but I'm going to introduce the rest of the full foursome. Yep, that instantly regretted it.
Yeah, that's bad.
So, okay, for first impressions, Eric, what was your first impression of Marvel Zombies? Because you're not the horror guy.
Not a big gore, not a big creepy, violent fan in shows and movies, but I think the animation style makes it very tolerable because it doesn't quite trigger that like gruesomeness. It's more video game horror kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was fun and definitely the kind of thing that they would not be able to do in any other format than animation. I mean, this stuff is just wild. So yeah, I was digging it. I was into it. I wasn't scared away or anything like that.
You were hiding under the bed sheets?
No, not quite.
Eric's in the corner with his thumb in his mouth, just going, "Make it stop! Make it stop!"
I have to watch it for the podcast.
That's right. Why are you making me watch this, y'all?
Chris just walks in and is like, "You're a grown man. What's going on here?
You have 7 Christmas trees. You can do that.
7 Christmas trees
Up already."
I love that. In our ATB connected universe, Faz is yacht money, but I mean, Eric is tree money. I don't know tree money. What? And you just got that new tree, Eric.
It's not, hey, the Christmas trees are not about the money. It's about the work and about the dedicated storage, because we have multiple full-size walk-in closets that are teeming with Christmas decorations. So
wow.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
You walk into the wrong closet, and it's like, oh my gosh, am I in Narnia? What is this? Faz, what about you, man? First impressions of Marvel Zombies. I'm saving Will for last.
It's the shockingly mortal Faz. I'm back. I know. I missed our last recording of a couple things, and you guys had a beautiful summary. I think that was pretty much my opinion on Mortal Thor 2. You guys did a great job. That was good. The only thing was that you guys said that I was concerned about it not being horny enough, and I just want to set the record straight. I feel we're going to lead into some horniness soon, so I was good with the amount of horniness. I think we're getting what we need later. I think it's all about the chase. But no, Marvel Zombies. I was really into Marvel Zombies. It was surprisingly awesome in that I thought I'd like it, but I loved it, and it took so many big swings, and it was the Avengers movie from Phase 4 that I've always wanted, really, with the new Avengers cast, and we got a healthy dose of Asgard. I was really happy.
Well, you watched this, but you're also watching this with a full knowledge of the comic version of Marvel Zombies. So yeah. I know we're going to go into the distinctions more, but like, did it live up to the expectation, or how did you walk into Marvel Zombies being more familiar with the subject matter?
Yeah, I'll say as we enter into spooky season, here we are in October. It's fall, a spooky season. A couple years ago, we had what the werewolf? What was the werewolf thing?
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night. They released that around the same time. Black and white. Yeah, we're gonna spook this thing up a little bit.
Good.
So now they announced Marvel Zombies around this time. I was like, cool, I'm on it. And my favorite genre within horror / suspense monsters, the zombie apocalypse is up there at the top. I really like it, and I love Walking Dead. Robert Kirkman, I collected all those comics, watched that show, love the zombies on it. So when Robert Kirkman, they got him to write Marvel Zombies in 2005, it was not MCU, it's pre-MCU. So of course he has a different kind of Avengers, and he has like Magneto, the one who's being ganged up upon. He's throwing like Captain America's shield to cut off zombie Captain America's head. That kind of stuff's happening, and then the big bad is Galactus there at the end. So I highly recommend, if you like Marvel Zombies on this MCU Disney Plus, go read this graphic. It's 5 issues. It's Robert Kirkman. The art's great. Fantastic. Silver Surfer shows up. Of course, why would we not show up in a Marvel Zombies thing? So the comics is really good. And so leading to this, I was like, oh, how are they going to do it from the comic? But no, they'll lean into MCU and what they've done with the What If. And I absolutely loved this. It was delight. Knowing that it was just 4 episodes hitting the big bads and all the main characters and bringing them all together was really a lot of fun. I'm the type of person who geeks out on zombies, and I really love the first day of the apocalypse, the breakout day. Yeah. I love the origin and seeing how people's reaction as it builds and what people are noticing and doing as it goes along. But this plops us right in the middle. We don't know how this started. We don't know how this virus got out. I was hoping for a flashback. We see like first day breakout with Shang-Chi and that episode, which is cool to kind of see, the humans running for their lives. But how this happened, why it happened, we don't know. We just plot right in the middle of the story. And, maybe they can do that in season 2 if this is popular enough and they do a season 2. They leave a cliffhanger enough that they could do that. But I would love to see an origin story of why this even happened in the first place. Would be fun. But I loved it. A lot of fun. And yeah, I think Eric's right. You could never
wasn't the What If episode the origin of how this happened, Will? Wasn't there a What If episode about how the zombies happened? It was an Ant-Man and the Wasp thing.
It's where Spidey comes from. The Spidey that we get in this show, it's from that What If episode.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because that's how we get Scott Lang with the Cloak of Levitation.
Gotcha.
And the headless Scott Lang. Yeah.
I need to go back and watch that then. But yeah, like they just hop right in the middle, and Eric's right in the sense that you can never do a live action one of these in terms of the special effects. It would cost so much money, but the animated studios, and I love the anime style. I mean, I like 2D traditional or anime kind of style animation is kind of where I go. Computer generated is fine. But I love like old school, and this had a little mix of both. It was definitely computer generated. And even though the faces at times looked a little strange for me at times, a little wooden, but the rest of it was so good.
Guys, I'm glad that we all generally enjoyed this show. I'll be honest, I kind of a few weeks ago I forgot this show was coming,
right?
And I remember when Will mentioned Werewolf by Night. The first time I watched Werewolf by Night, it was, I believe, the night it came out. I was on my way to Will Rose's house in North Carolina, and I watched it in the Smoky Mountains at midnight at a rest stop where Kim and I had to sleep for I shit you not.
Why did you do
on
that?
a full moon?
Fucking terrifying. As the fog rolls into the Smokies, like we're about an hour east of Chattanooga, and I'm just like, this was a terrible idea. Why did I do this?
Yeah.
I love that we are getting that. The reason I bring that up is I love that we're getting horror Marvel stuff, because Marvel does have a really long and honestly great history of doing horror stuff within Marvel Comics. So I'm glad we're getting it. Werewolf by Night was so great. Marvel Zombies is definitely a different kind of horror. And I love that we got that. I want to kind of just broadly talk about what happens in the show. And Faz, I know I'm going to miss out on some things, so I expect your vigilance.
No, that's not fair. So much happened in this show. I can't get it all for you.
I'm just going to like broad strokes what happens, and then we can kind of pick at the pieces we want. I do want to talk about favorite characters. And then we will get specifically to the Thor, Valkyrie, and New Asgard aspects of this show. But quick overview, really, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, is our principal point of view character throughout the show. We start off with her, with Kate Bishop and Riri Williams escaping the city of zombies that have taken over, and they have a transmitter that is supposedly going to be able to stop all of the zombies from taking over the world, or the situation from getting worse. We learn that Wanda Maximoff is the Queen of the Dead, and she is our big bad for the series. And boy, is she, she is scary. Like I'm not a 35-year-old man. I'm not ashamed to say it. It was scary. And then we get a big battle at the end of the first episode. Blade shows up at Blade Moon Night. And Eric, I would definitely want you to share your observation about multiverse Moon Knights. When we get into characters. But in the second episode, like Will mentioned, we get Shang-Chi and Katie's view of day one. And Shang-Chi in the MCU animation stuff has been so good. The What If episodes that he's been in, and this, I just love what Simu Liu is able to do with just his voice in these portrayals. We see their experience of San Francisco on day one. We then get on Baron Zemo's floating base. They go out into the ocean, and wouldn't you know, Namor is there, and he is scary as shit.
Fucking terrifying.
Zombie Namor was probably, in my opinion, the scariest part of the show. But they fight with him. They fight with his zombie Atlanteans. In episode 3, that's when we get the big, Asgardian element of the show revealed. Thor, Valkyrie, and New Asgard are in that episode, and they really take up a bunch of the story there. I won't belabor their roles because I know we're going to get into them a lot. We do have a great fight in that episode with Thor and zombie Wanda. Maybe one of my favorite things Thor's done in the MCU. And the crew, led by Kamala, they are able to get off into space in this new Asgardian ship so that they can do the transmitter and get rid of the zombie virus. They believe that it's going to send out a message to the Nova Corps. And I know Eric's really excited to talk about the Nova Corps. They're going out there, but when they come to the edge of space outside of Earth's atmosphere, the Nova Corps is already there. And they are acting as a quarantine for Earth. They're not helping. They're going to basically let Earth eat itself. They're there to make sure that the virus doesn't spread off-world. So they're all dejected. The ship gets blown out of the sky by the Nova Corps. Kamala is able to save them and get back to Earth, and then the wizards, the sorcerers of Kamartaj, save them from falling out of the atmosphere. They save them to lead up to episode 4, where we see I can't even explain the elements of this that I've forgotten fast because I'm
Infinity Hulk.
Basically, guys, we have an Infinity Hulk. And Wanda wants all the power that the Infinity Hulk is able to possess. We get a climactic battle between our heroes and Wanda and her army of now zombie characters, and it's a fantastic battle. And then Kamala has to make a very important decision. We believe that decision has been resolved at the end of episode 4, and then we are instantly thrown into doubt about what we have just seen. Now, I know I have left out a ton of stuff. But Faz, maybe let's start with you. What
real fast. I just want to say I loved. This wasn't like 10 episodes. It wasn't like a one long movie. The 4 episodes with the 3 big baddies and villains leading up to the climax of Wanda. Like I love the flow. The Zeb Wells is the one who's the teleplay that led through this, and so props to the writing and the flow and the editing. Like is absolutely fantastic. So the big villain, or each one, like episode 1, you're fighting the Avengers. Episode 2, Namor. 3, Thanos, and then Wanda, and then you have Infinity Hulk there at the end. I felt each episode built to a climax to the end. And let me just say, the reason I think there's really quiet, that we haven't really encountered a lot of like alien life out there right now, is because Earth is on intergalactic sanctions, similar to how the Nova Corps is not letting our shit get out right now. And so anyway, that's my theory of why it's all quiet out there.
Will slipped in a personal conspiracy theory there.
You know what it is that our world's intergalactic government is in shutdown right now. So because of that, we aren't allowed to be outside. That's what's going on. Yeah,
there's a shutdown, but we're on intergalactic sanctions for good reason. So anyway, that's my thoughts.
But how about that legitimate twist that, you know, we're building up to this? If only we can get this to space. If only we can get this to space, and then we do. And they've
been there the whole time.
Yeah,
the like sinking feeling you get of like, oh no, like that actually is a part of the plan that you don't leave. They're already there. They're helping in the way that they know how to help, which is not helping you. It's keeping you at a
this
safe
show
distance.
Dominated the twists and turns. Everything was like we have the three musketeers of Kate, Riri, and Kamala ready to have an amazing time together. We're gonna have an awesome show. It's gonna be this great like young Avenger. Oh fuck! 2 of them died in the first 5 minutes of the movie of the show. Okay, damn it. All right. Well, Kamala's gonna find people, I guess, and we'll go from there. And then everybody around her dies, and it just keeps going. In terms of things you missed, Ryan, the only things I'll focus on, because this is a Thor podcast, is the story of this Thor is extremely interesting. Yeah. So, listeners, Thanos in this world does Infinity War, but he does it as a zombie. And at first, they're able to knock him around a bit because he's a zombie, but he's learning and he's getting more powerful, and he's using the Infinity Gauntlet to raise the dead and make them more zombies, which I can't think of anything scarier until we get Wanda later in the series. But he's doing that, and we get our Thor Infinity War moment where he gets down there and he brings me Thanos, and he runs at Thanos, and instead of saying he should have gone for the head,
with Groot,
Thanos, and Rocket
Raccoon, his 2 buddies with Rabbit,
and instead of telling him to go for the head, Thanos unleashes the Infinity Stones at them and vaporizes Rocket and Groot to the point that all we see left is Rocket's skull. And Thor is maimed to the point that he no longer speaks and no longer moves. He just sits in the throne of Asgard and drinks, but not in the comically Endgame style drinking away the problem playing Fortnite. In the depressing, he doesn't speak or move anymore, and we haven't seen him move in decades. And it's dark. And the only thing that brings him back is the Queen of the Dead, which I'm sure we'll get to eventually. But I just wanted to give a bit of background lore on my guy Thor, because this is a really interesting take.
Yeah. Eric, was there anything else I missed out that we need to mention, or do you want to jump into kind of breaking down this version of Thor and what he does in this show?
Before we get into that, I just want to give a quick shout out to I loved Kamala Khan using her powers to their full effect. Yeah. Crushing people between hard light and taking heads off. I mean, it was so fun to see because, you know, in the Marvel show, she makes these like lily pads to jump across, and she like makes protective walls and stuff, but she never crushes people with it. And so to see that,
zombies mean insta kill mode's on, right? And you get to see some crazy shit.
It's badass. It's hardcore. And she
makes that one Sith, right? Like the one thing, and just starts chopping off heads. Yeah. Because in the comics, she's a polymorph. And so I know there's, you know, MCU, Kamala, and others like hard light versus being able to shapeshift and being a polymorph. But her seeing her use her power set in this version of Marvel Zombies made me be like, I don't mind. I think that's a badass power set, and I would love to have those powers. It's not like cute hard light, make sparkly things. You know, I'm a fan of the Avengers. It's like I can use it to make a meteor come from space and protect my friends and chop people's heads off and all that stuff. Like punch hard with her big fist. Like I loved her power set in this cartoon. It was good.
I read online that she they obviously switched her powers so she wouldn't conflict with Mr. Fantastic, right? That's why she does the hard light thing instead of the embiggening. But now she just has Sue Storm's powers. And I thought that was a hilarious. They just switched Fantastic Four. Like now she makes shields. Now she can like shoot blasts that hurt people. She doesn't
if they light her on fire, it's a problem.
Yeah. Legitimately, yeah. So I'm excited for the Kamala Khan Malice arc eventually. We'll have to see what happens.
Polygon Malice arc.
Well, in the comics, aren't they making her, now that she's a mutant, aren't they giving her, she's discovering her mutant power somewhat, and isn't that the synergy
Part
with
of
the
it.
hard light stuff?
I think
It's
so.
kinda-
Yeah.
They're kind of coming together.
Yep.
Well, guys, I wanna really fulfill the purpose of this show, talking about everything Thor. So Faz, this version of Thor. What, like, give us maybe a little, you gave us kind of his backstory with Thanos, but like, how do we meet him in episode 3? I left this part out because I had a feeling you'd be especially passionate about the way that we meet Thor, the way that we meet Valkyrie, the way that we meet the new Asgardians.
Sure. So our merry band, which at this point has gone through like 8 renditions because this show pulls no punches and people are dying constantly.
It is a zombie show, full send.
They are trying to reach new Asgard.
Real fast. Like that. One of the great things about What Ifs is like they could do whatever they want. You don't know how it's going to end, And so with a zombie show, there's going to be like a final dude, final girl, final something. They're not all going to make it. And so to see people die along the way, you're like, yep, who's going to make it to the end was a great suspense along the way to say who's going to die, who's not, and some die really gruesomely, and then you're like, oh no, and then some, you're like, yeah, they deserve that. So anyway, like the whole like not knowing who was going to die when added a sense of a great sense of suspense in this particular show that is great. You wouldn't get in like a normal Marvel movie or cartoon.
And a lot of them died unceremoniously, right? Like characters that you were with for 2.5 episodes, and you figured, okay, this is an important character. Oh, they just got cut in half at the beginning of this episode. Never mind. We're done with
gone.
that.
Bye.
So our merry band is trying to get to Asgard because they need to get to space because the Nova Corps will save them. And all they need to do is get their thingy to space, and Asgard has a ship. So they go to it's where they hid from Hela in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
To go check out whether or not the Asgardians are there. And they run into King Valkyrie, who is Ryan's favorite character in every universe and is so awesome in this.
I was hyped as fuck.
And she's they're doing revels, they're doing a big Asgard thing inside, but only gods are allowed, and none of these people are gods. And we got to learn why Blade Knight exists, because Khonshu jumps out of Blade and goes, "How dare you be rude to me? I'm fucking Khonshu, man." And she's like, "Khonshu, bro, oh my god, I haven't seen you since the last Kagger. How are you? This is so cool. What are you doing? Of course you and your buddies can come in." But the twist, listeners, is that only Blade Knight and Valkyrie can see Khonshu. So everybody else is just like, what the fuck is happening right now?
She's insane. That's what's the problem.
She's crazy. So is Blade Knight, but whatever, she's letting us into the feast, so that's great. And we learn when we're on the inside that firstly, the thing I talked about, Thor sitting on the throne, dejected, not moving. But the feast is happening courtesy of the Queen of Sokovia, who provided the feast. Interesting, because they're with Zemo, and he's like, Sokovia, that's weird. It exploded, though. What do you mean, the Queen of Sokovia?
I made sure of it.
And then it's big revealed, listeners, that the Queen of Sokovia is Wanda Maximoff. And she's not a zombie. She's just regular Wanda. And she was able to control her mind to get rid of the zombie virus, and she's just trying to fix everything. So she's getting a team together with Valkyrie, and it's going to be great. And then her team's going to take out these fucking zombies. It's going to be awesome. Everybody has a feast. Red Guardian has a feast. So many of our main characters don't eat part of the feast, though.
Don't eat that chicken leg. Don't eat that chicken leg.
Important.
Don't eat it. No matter how
becomes
hungry
important
you are.
because the host of Asgard suddenly starts turning into zombies because the feast was not a feast. It was dead zombies, and Wanda has turned all of Asgard, and they are now going to super mega ultra die because there's 3 or 4 of them against the Queen of the Dead or the Queen of Sokovia. You can choose however you want to describe her, in an absolute war against just Valkyrie, Kamala, Shang-Chi, Katie. Is anybody else even still there at that point? Zemo, maybe? I don't even remember who's still.
Let's see. Death Dealer dies.
No, he's ripped in half. Yeah, and then so is Agent. What's his face?
Red Guardian dies in that. Well, he gets bit.
Turns into a zombie. Yeah, because he eats that. Because he ate too much zombie.
Plus, he ate a lot of fingers. So
yeah,
I ate so many fingers.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. David Harbour is so good as that
So
character.
good. They did a great job balancing the comic relief along with the crazy stuff. They did
Yeah.
a really good job with that.
Yeah.
But then, they're all about to die. The ship is not going to be able to take off. Everything is over. The king still hasn't moved. And then, listeners, thunder strikes. And they may as well have played AC/DC because thunder strikes.
It gets electric. Electric.
And we get an awesome fight, a truly awesome fight. Thor, unarmed, and I mean that literally. He's only got one arm, let alone no Mjolnir, no Stormbreaker. He goes to war with the Queen of the Dead and buys them just enough time and has a heroic sacrifice, which is great. And, it's too bad that he's dead. And I'd love to see him again, but unfortunately, he's dead, and that's the end of him in episode 3.
He also proclaims Kamala Kamala says, Thor, you have to come with us. You're the last Avenger. And Thor says, you're the Avenger now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like,
You're the
goosebumps
captain
for
now.
days.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
Gents, what do you
I'm
think of
sorry.
how much Asgard we got?
What's that?
What'd you think? What'd you think of how much Asgard we got?
I
in
wanted
this,
to
this
drop
little
in
zombie
my observation about Moon Knight and how tragic it is that,
Yes.
we never, in alternate realities, we never get Mark Spector with Ant-Man powers. We never get Stephen Grant that's Hulkified. We never get Jake Lockley with a bow and arrow. We always get characters that have the Moon Knight, spirit of Khonshu, but it's never Mark Spector, Steven, or Jake. And so if you're a fan of actual Moon Knight, like of the Mark Spector character, you're getting nothing, right? And the same thing happens with Iron Fist, right? Where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's not Danny Rand gets the power of Thor. It's everybody can have the Iron Fist. Let's give it away to everybody.
But that's because Iron Fist's actor did not do an amazing job in that show, and they kind of burned Danny Rand. So now they're picking other people to be the Iron Fist.
Hey,
I don't get why they're not.
This is
because
a what if zombie thing. We could totally do Power Man and Iron Fist in this one. Really,
Yeah.
Is Oscar Isaac?
But I'm with
just
you, Eric.
disease?
Like
is
like
that why
Blade
it's
on
late
his
night?
own would have been fine because he's a vampire hunter. He's make him a zombie hunter instead of like a vampire hunter.
Well, the only thing that Khonshu is used for is to get into Asgard. Otherwise, he could just be Blade. He's just using a sword and cutting
Blade.
people up. Like there's no real, apart from cool visuals.
let Moon Knight be Moon Knight. Yeah. But
Could have been cool. Like, how Shang-Chi has the zombie arm?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have been cool. Maybe give Blade that. Like, that gives kind of Blade a reason to want to kill zombies and vampires. I don't know. Like, I'm
Well, he can probably just be armless then. Like I was expecting a shot at some point in the show where someone gets bitten on like the wrist or whatever, and then Blade just cuts off the arm and like sutures it and goes, "You're good now. I caught it in time," and that's
You're
it.
good. I'm good. You cut off my hand.
And like the Ten Rings did that a little bit with Shang-Chi, but I was expecting like something like that throughout the course of the thing because that's a pretty normal zombie trope, and we didn't. Maybe in season 2.
Yeah. So Faz, you mentioned that Thor is deceased at the end of episode 3. We'll never see him again.
Never coming back. It's over.
So then, can you maybe tell us what did anything happen in episode 4 where he might have been referenced? Or
No, Thor's gone, but Thor's gone, obviously. But
Thor's gone. Never see him again.
the legions of Wanda. So, listeners, the main point of the show is that Wanda wants the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Black Panther took out zombie Thanos and created this storm of infinity power that the Hulk is controlling. And Wanda wants that power to fix the world because she's actually the good guy. And she wants the zombie plague to end, and she needs the infinity power to do that. So she has to go fight the Infinity Hulk with all of her legions, which, again, they don't know it yet, but she's just trying to fix the world and get rid of them. And that's what she's doing because she's a good guy, and Wanda never did anything wrong ever. So legions go by, a whole bunch of big zombies, a lot of small zombies, some Hank Pym zombies, some Hope Van
Winter is
Dyne
coming.
zombies.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. And eventually this really fucking cool zombie comes, listeners. He's wielding an axe. It's a red axe. It's a blood axe. It's controlled by the reality powers of the Queen. He can bring red-powered lightning, and he has a war with the Infinity Hulk. Guys, I tricked you. Thor is back, and he's a zombie. What a twist. Who could have seen that coming?
You should see your face, listener.
You
Right
guys
now, you fell for it.
Listener, you fell for it again award to you for not realizing that Thor is back for a heroic entrance, and we do get an awesome fight. He loses, obviously, because he's a zombie fighting the full power of the Infinity Stones, and a Hulk who is not a zombie, but it is badass as fuck.
It's his head.
Right.
It's his head stomped in.
No, I didn't want to talk about that. It makes me sad. That's
Oh, yeah,
Well, it's similar fight choreography to the gladiator fight on Sakaar. It's similar type of moves that Hulk flies up into the sky and comes to land on him for the final crushing blow.
So
it's just
Eric,
the zombie, so he squishes.
Eric, I'm curious because like you said, you're not the gore, extra violent kind of fan. What did you think though of this version of Thor? What was it refreshing? Was it a new wrinkle? Did it make you want old Thor? Like, how did you receive the version we got in the show?
I mean, so maybe it's just me, but I don't like it when people are like mangled or gory or have their like jaws with pus coming out of it. So not a big fan of that part. I like normal, healthy Thor. The whole time I'm just like, oh, is he going to get better? Like his face is all mangled and
you would not like Walt Simonson's Ragnarok then, eh?
Oh God.
I mean, he loses an eye. Like what's with an eye? It's fine. He'll get
He's lost eyes many a time.
He's missing the bottom half of his jaw.
That Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, not the movie Ragnarok.
No. I'm talking about the book that he does with Thor.
Where his tongue's just wobbling around.
He doesn't even have a tongue. There's just darkness here. There's nothing filled in because Walt was like, "That looks cool. Let's not worry about it too hard." Right? This Zombie Thor is cosplaying as Ragnarok, I think, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Cosplaying a zombie Thor, Faz.
Absolutely not. So. Actually, this is a good
October 31st is a Friday night, Faz. You got to do it. Zombie Thor, let's do it.
Listeners, Marvel did a really cool thing to promote zombies. They actually flew in 6 or 7 cosplayers, got them with their makeup artists, and did a whole promotion where they got to show them as kind of before and after being zombified. And one of my buddies got to be Thor in that, and that was really cool. So I don't need to be Zombie Thor because I can't compete with Marvel's Zombie Thor, also known as San Diego Thor. So guys, go check that out on Marvel's official social media accounts. I have everybody who was there I know, and they're all awesome people, and that's a really, really cool thing that Marvel did. So go interact with those things so Marvel does it again, because that was really freaking cool.
I agree. That was a really cool video that they did. Will, this version of Thor in the MCU's Marvel Zombies, maybe compare and contrast that to the Robert Kirkman version of Zombie Thor. How are they different? Maybe how are they similar? Because like we said at the top, you are more familiar with the source material.
Yeah, it's totally different because they open up and again, in the Marvel Zombies version, you don't get an origin story. You just kind of show it with Magneto going, great, I closed the portal. These zombies can't get to other dimensions where there aren't zombie heroes. And then you pan out the big splash page and it's all the Avengers and you kind of got them all zombified. Thor is among the original zombies. And then you have like a big battle, Magneto throwing metal and chopping off heads and trying to defend himself. And eventually the big kind of the version of the Infinity Hulk. I mean, I love the premise to this.
It's so good.
So the comic version is this, that they kill everyone. They don't have any food. So they start thinking, wow, we need some food. And then Reed Richards like, I got an idea. Let's lure Galactus to our world so we can eat Galactus and we can eat for years, you know.
What a twist.
And so here comes Silver Surfer and they battle Silver Surfer. So that's the one who they're all kind of the zombified heroes are going after Silver Surfer, and they lure Galactus to their to the Earth so they can battle him. So that's kind of and there's characters that show up along the way from early 2000s, late 90s kind of version of the comic. So that's kind of what's going on with that. So it is very, very different from like MCU version of Thor.
But please tell me Quasar shows up, because Quasar had like 100 issues of a run in the 90s, Will. He's very popular.
I don't remember Quasar in that book.
No one does. So we also get Valkyrie in this show, and I always love when Tessa Thompson shows up in a movie, a series, whatever. And I loved that Val was such a big part of the team in the last two episodes. Tessa Thompson's humor always there. I love it, but she got some badass moments in the last fight. She is my one of my favorite moments, maybe in the MCU. Was when she gets squashed by the I guess would have been Wasp. She gets squashed by Wasp, and everyone's like, no! And then she crawls up through the hand and the forearm and the bicep, and she's underneath the skin of this zombie, and then she pops out the neck and slices the head off this giant zombie. I was like, let's fucking go.
One of the best zombie kills. One of the best zombie kills of the whole.
I loved it so much. I rewatched it several times.
On that note, apparently the action was so impressive that Marvel is using all the action people, including the writer, on Doomsday to help punch up the action.
Yes,
because of how happy they were with Zeb Wells is doing it along with some other people because of how much they loved the zombie stuff. Obviously, it won't be the same as ripping off heads and things, but they got the characters' powers so well that they were like, "Hey, can you do this with the biggest movie of all time? That would be great. Thanks."
But Eric, what do you think of Val's role in Marvel Zombies?
I mean, I right when you hear her voice, it just triggers the nostalgia. She's got such an iconic voice for the character. She has such a great take on it, and although, some of the other characters had the same voice actor as in the movie portrayal, something was a little off about it sometimes, but hers came through so strongly that it was really fun. And she's got the banter, the wit, the dry humor. So just right off the bat, when you hear her, it's the fun vibes and bringing out what I loved about that character so much, especially from like her introduction in Ragnarok.
Kamala and her banter, those are the two characters I'd love to see next to each other, and they did it. Like their banter and kind of is a lot of.
Baz, what about you? Like Val showing up? Honestly, we're getting all these characters that were, like you said, probably going to be bigger deals in someone's version of an Avengers 4. So we're not seeing a lot of legacy heroes in this final stand.
Yeah, I mean, I love this stuff because like I think we should have gotten an Avengers movie after Phase 4. I think we should have gotten an Avengers movie after Phase 5. And I think that seeing these characters interact would really help with Doomsday and Secret Wars, and things like this kind of help, right? Like the diehard fans like me who care about wanting to see them interact, wanting to have them have a relationship. I know it's an Elseworlds, but now I have the feeling of like, oh, I know how these guys would be together. These guys are friends. It makes sense. So when we get into this giant overstuffed movie where they just can't possibly spend enough time doing it because there's 30 characters in only 2.5 hours, I don't need it as much anymore because I know that Shang-Chi and Kamala are going to vibe. I know that Valkyrie is going to love these people, right? Like it works well enough for me that when they're just stuck being like, oh shit, we have to go fight Doctor Doom, and why does he look like Iron Man? That's okay. We can just do that and move on. I don't need to hear by the way, my name is Shang. My dad was kind of the evil Ten Rings guy, but now he redeemed himself and now it's okay. Oh, I'm Kamala Khan. I also have arm things. That's interesting. We both have arm things. We're so cool. Yeah.
Well, I think one other thing just along that line with this being like almost a pseudo Avengers thing was it let me know that maybe because the original MCU Avengers are kind of moving on. We're probably going to get different versions of them in Doomsday and Secret Wars, but to see this new generation of heroes that we already liked in their own things, like Kamala and Shang-Chi and Valkyrie, it was nice to see Valkyrie as the heir apparent to maybe the Thor on the Avengers, as opposed to just like a different version of Thor. I love Valkyrie's character in the MCU. She makes perfect sense as the Thor stand-in on the next generation. So it was really nice to see her get a spotlight here. She's one of the final heroes in this show, and I was like, much deserved. She's a great character. I loved that. Anything else about like New Asgard? Anything with Thor connections? And then we'll probably wrap it up with some final thoughts. Any other Thor connections that we just wanted to talk about before we're wrapping up?
I had just maybe a question, and maybe it's just because I'm not as familiar with it, but like I kind of would have thought the Asgardian DNA or whatever would make it so that they can't get zombified. I think the same thing goes for like vampirism. Like, aren't they supposed to have some kind of immunity to this?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought about the Avengers run where Thor was infected by that alien thing during Jason's run. I don't remember what they're called. They're brown. They have like sharp teeth like vampires, and Thor becomes one of those.
Brood. The Brood.
Yeah, Brood. Yeah, Thor gets infected with the Brood, right? So like it can happen. He gets infected by Gamma at one point, right? I think that I think if it was the MCU proper, Thor would have been like, Asgardians are made of stronger stuff. This is weird. But I think in this particular multiversal world, we're just going with the writers say so. Asgardians can become zombies, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I also had that thought, Eric, and then it was just so cool that I was like, you know what? That's okay. Zombie Asgardian spaceships shooting at Infinity Hulk, that's cool. I'm okay with that. That's fine. Yeah.
But I mean, it was a fantastic show. I think to me, I don't view it as much like as a alt world Avengers movie. To me, it's more of just like a better What If. I thought What If was fine, but I think I like it when there's a lot more carryover episode to episode. I know they eventually in What If tie up some things with crossovers, but it really started off more as like an anthology thing, and this felt like they were able to do so much in 4 episodes, but it all feels like one plot line to me, which just makes my brain happy and like I can follow it easier.
And it was cool that they took like objectively the best premise in What If and we're like, what if we made this into a feature-length film essentially?
Right.
And that's cool. Instead of just being like that thing that was really cool that we did for 23 minutes. Yeah, we're never going to touch that again. Sorry. It's nice that they gave us the full expansion. People were so excited about it. And apparently it ends on a major cliffhanger, listeners. I don't know if we've said it out loud or not, but
we have
the writers, so I won't say what it is just for the sake of that. But the writers say season 2 is written. And it's just a matter of if it gets greenlit. So if you guys like this, if you go watch it, if enough people watch it, they're going to do a season 2 probably. Marvel's doing the thing now where things have to perform if you want another one. I think people are very happy with the views so far. This is apparently going very well, but they have a plan for what happens next. I'm quite happy with the ending as an ending, but I would also sure as hell tune in to find out what happens next.
It had a good like. Honestly, it had a good horror movie ending.
Very good horror movie ending.
It had a very much like, okay, we resolved the conflict to a somewhat satisfying conclusion. And then a lot of great horror movies, the final twist happens as the credits are about to roll. And this is exactly what happens in this movie. It was very much paced like a horror movie. If you're in the spooky mood and, you're wanting your superheroes to get into a little bit of horror nonsense, this scratched that itch. Guys, as we just wrap up here, something maybe not Thor related or Valkyrie related. What was just another highlight of the show that you're like, oh, I can't not do a review on Marvel Zombies without talking about this one element that I loved. Faz, maybe let's start with you.
I love Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
I love him in everything. He is doing a great job, and I need a Shang-Chi too. And I am annoyed that Marvel saw that Dustin Daniel Cretton is fucking amazing and gave him a Spider-Man movie so he doesn't have time to do Shang-Chi, because I want a Shang-Chi too. He is such a fun character. They're doing some really cool stuff with him. And I think the best I'll get is he's going to probably have a major role in Avengers if I had to guess, because everybody loves Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I no, real fast. I agree. I think that is this the Shang-Chi 2 that we wanted? Like, is this where we're going to be regulated to this over in this corner? I hope not. I hope they in other versions of movies, Doomsday, wherever. But yeah, so good. So it's just a good character.
Well, we'll keep rolling with you then. What was something not Thor related, Valkyrie related? Something that you loved about the show, and you're like, I can't do a review of Marvel Zombies without mentioning this thing I loved.
the Millennium Falcon running from X-wings, the Nova Corps, and the Valkyrie ship. We had
Eric,
some
we haven't talked about the Nova Corps yet.
yeah. The whole like space battle, chasing down like the Millennium Falcon, and it being encased in hard light, and a meteor falling to the ground. Like that whole space battle and that twist was good. I knew there was a twist. It was going to somewhere. It couldn't be that easy. They just needed the aliens to come save them. But I love that intergalactic sections, quarantined, and the space battle, Star Wars stuff that I love in my Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh my gosh, I should have been able to guess that. Eric, your thing that you can't leave this review without talking about.
Well, in addition to the mention of the Nova Corps, because every time they mention that, my eyebrow raises, and I'm like, Richard Rider time? Is it time for Nova yet? No, the Nova were dicks in this, and Richard Rider probably would have been a hero, but
totally justified. Weren't dicks. Nope, I would do the same if I had to quarantine Earth. And in fact, we're being quarantined right now. We're being quarantined right now.
Honestly,
Eric,
it's not even the zombies. It's the giant infinity typhoon that could just destroy the multiverse if it was pulled too far out. Like, it's not even the zombie children. Anyway, tell me more about Nova, Eric.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't see more Nova Corps, because I think the more we put them out into the zeitgeist, the more likely we are to get a Nova project at some point. But a couple other little nuggets that I liked. I liked Dumb Thanos, because it was a way to explain why Thanos is not the big bad of the whole thing. He was like, it was so funny to be like, he's learning. Look, he's figuring stuff out, and he was just like this dumb zombie Thanos. So I thought that was very effective. And then I think, just the not knowing when somebody was going to die or not, because the unceremonious deaths where it just swoosh and they're split in half or something like that keeps you guessing and keeps it interesting the whole way through, because you can't get too attached with some kind of zombie project like this. People just take the people out from under you anytime.
Yeah. My last thing was something I alluded to earlier, but zombie Namor was terrifying. And I loved that, because Namor is not a character. I see a portrayal,
Namor's already cooler Aquaman, right? So like, there you go. It's nice to see him in this.
oh God.
Oh, he knows what buttons he's pushing.
I am tired. I have had much alcohol, not as much as some of us, but I've had enough alcohol where I'm just like, I can't appropriately respond or defend my guy right now.
What about Aquaman with absolute power infused with like Omega level powers, like he's being done?
That's already going to happen. Will.
Okay.
Yeah, Aquaman with the blue or whatever we're calling it. That's pretty exciting.
You nailed it, buddy.
I'm a huge DC Comics guy now. I don't know if you know that.
Baz went full into DC Comics. So good.
I couldn't read Thor for like 3 weeks, and then Eric cheated on me and read Thor. I read so much DC while waiting.
Eric, we have so many episodes now where Baz says that you cheated on him.
We have all these sound bites of Chris accusing me of cheating.
Exactly. But I just thought it was so good, because I love like dark underwater horror stuff, and Namor being that, like, he's like an underwater serial killer in this. And it was perfect. The atmosphere, because like in Black Panther 2, the version of Atlantis and the version of Namor we get is much more stoic and regal, and it's there's gold and there's lots of blues and greens in the atmosphere. This is just gray. Like, it kind of reminded me of I believe Assad Ribic did a series called Namor the Deep, where it's very drab, it's very grays and dark blues, and Namor is almost ghost-like in that series. This reminded me of like a very creepy, ominous Namor, and I loved it. Namor was my surprise of this one, because I didn't really look into the show before it was going to be on, and so I didn't know Namor was coming. But once they submerged the vessel, I'm like, Namor is going to murder all of you, and it like. They almost treated him like he was the shark in Jaws. because you didn't know when he was going to show up, and then when he shows up, he just starts completely brutalizing everybody. And they did that thing that you see in like submarine movies where there's a breach in the hull and all the regular lights go down and it's only red lights, and Namor is like standing at the end of a hallway, and it was like, oh my gosh, they made him a horror movie villain. This is so cool. But yeah, he was my breakout, like didn't see that coming kind of thing. So guys, I'm really glad we all enjoyed Marvel Zombies. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we were able to pull this review together. I hope people enjoyed this. Listener, I just want you to know that if you want more of this, we've got Patreon, we've got Instagram, and we've got Discord. All the links there in the episode description for those that want to seek those out. We have a few episodes coming up where, honestly, Will and I are about to be hanging out together in Minneapolis, Minnesota for Theology Beer Camp. So we're going to have a few episodes that we've recorded ahead of time. We got some Journey to 800 coming with Eric and Faz.
That's not what it's called. Come on, say the full name.
You say the full name.
The Deific Duo's Road to 800, the Deific Duo's Journey into Mystery, Road to 800, Volume 4.
Oh my gosh, thank you for
Legacy number.
yourself.
Legacy number what?
4.
4, yes.
Legacy number 4.
They're tomes. They're tomes, Will. They're massive collections of knowledge. And then we also, Eric and I sat down and did our second edition of Journey into Jurgens. So we got a lot of like really large sections of comics coming for you in the next few weeks while Will and I are in Minneapolis. We're just going to be hanging out and doing some cool stuff up there. I'm sure we'll talk about that in the future. But guys, Marvel Zombies, this was a lot of fun.
I'm going out zombie hunting tonight. If I get bit, I'm probably going after Faz first.
Fuck.
Oh. So you're gonna start the furthest away and work your way back.
Am I the furthest away? I feel like I might be
Probably the
closest
furthest away.
Eric's bigger than all of us, so I got to start with some appetizers, and then the main course is coming soon.
Oh, and then the two of us together can take out Eric, and then Ryan will just be like whenever we get around to it. Yeah, good idea.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. I think we can all agree. Of the four of us, I think Eric would fare best in a zombie apocalypse.
I gotta infect all three of us first to get there. That's the only way we're gonna
Eric
win.
has a lot of Christmas trees, but I have as many Mjolnirs as he has Christmas trees. I can defend myself.
Now I have to go look up and see if Hercules has ever been zombified.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree I would get eaten first because I don't even follow the first rule of zombie.
The bald
land.
Silver Surfer has. Just want to let you know that.
Will would swim out to the ocean and be like, okay, I can swim some waves. Damn it, there's zombies on the beach. Crap.
Thought I was safe on the water. I'm not.
Everybody, thank you for checking out this episode. We're going to hop aboard the Rainbow Bridge. So no matter if you are fighting off the undead with your friends, or maybe your friends have become the undead and you're very, very internally tortured by that idea, whether you absolutely loved Marvel Zombies or whether you for some reason didn't like this show, I can't help you if you didn't like it. It was that good. We hope that no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are in the 9 realms, that you remember to do one thing, and that is stay worthy.
Whoever holds this hammer, if it be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Bum, 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 bum. So